Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by big4accountingfirms.com. If you enjoy our show, don't forget to help us out by subscribing to this podcast, sharing it with a friend, and providing us with a review on iTunes. Check out the show notes below for the link. Thanks, and enjoy the show.
Today we'll be covering some huge news that is rocking the Big Four accounting firms industry, and it relates to the Big Four accounting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers. The Securities and Exchange Board in India has banned PwC from auditing listed companies in India for 2 years, and this will go into effect on March 31st of 2018. And this ban does not include audits for 2017 or 2018, as those years' audits are already in progress. So what happened? This ban relates to the collapse of an Indian firm called Satyam. The collapse of Satyam occurred in 2009, and the collapse of that firm, which was a technology firm, cost investors $2 billion. Satyam collapsed due to a huge accounting scandal, which PwC obviously got wrapped up in. And analysts in India have said that this collapse was the biggest fraud in listed company history in India. And the Securities and Exchange Board in India said that PwC overlooked several red flags, which were all too obvious for any reasonable professional auditor to miss. Indian authorities said that PwC ignored warnings from 2003 all the way up until the moment that the company crashed. The Securities and Exchange Board also said that there were over 7,000 fake invoices that PwC ignored. I mean, that's a lot of invoices to miss and not catch this fraud. The chairman of the company was Ramalinga Raju. He confessed that the company's accounts were falsified. He manipulated the accounts of the company by $1.47 billion, and that's US dollars. I wanted to take a small break to let you know that our Big Four accounting firms interview course has been released. And this is a great course. It has over an hour of information in there with professionally designed slides. And this gives you everything you need to know to get the job that you want within the Big Four. It tells you about the people that you're going to be interviewing with, why they joined the Big Four, what their job entails. It goes over interview questions that you're likely to face, along with research that's already been completed for you. In addition, you also get 100 interview questions in a PDF format, and you also get a free resume template. So I encourage you to check that out. The link will be in the show notes, and also go to our website, big4accountingfirms.com, and there will be links to this course on there as well. And with that, I'll let you get back to the show. PwC will also have to pay back fees that they earned related to this engagement, and they will have to return 130 million rupees, which is equivalent to $2 million in US. And they'll also have to pay 12% interest for the past 8 years. And how will this impact PwC? Well, PwC audits over 75 listed Indian companies that could be impacted by the order. Auditing represents 40% of PwC India's business. And PwC's India business is about $500 million per year. If you do the math, that it's estimated that it's about probably $200 million a year that'll be impacted. So it's not the end of the world for PwC because they obviously make over about $38 billion a year. But still, this is a huge story. And PwC was making good progress in India as well. This past year, they had 19% growth in India. In conclusion, this is some really bad news. The Big Four accounting firms keep on running into huge scandals in foreign countries, and it's to the point where they're getting banned from countries. This latest one is PwC India, but last year Deloitte faced the same kind of ban in Korea. And right now we know that KPMG is facing a similar scandal in South Africa. So you wonder if South Africa will follow suit from India and Korea and ban KPMG. But it's huge news from PwC to be completely banned from auditing in one country. It'll completely wreck their brand in that country, at least from an auditing standpoint. And one has to think that this will push through to their tax and consulting businesses in India. The other Big Four aren't really gloating, aren't really dancing on PwC's grave. They're trying to stand up for PwC because if the Big Four stand together, then they all can, they know that they have a better chance of facing these kind of problems in the future because they all know that they have issues with auditing, and every now and then a client goes belly up and they don't want to have to be completely banned from every country every time a company goes belly up. You know, PwC also recently faced some really bad news regarding Colonial Bank and that they'll have to most likely pay hundreds of millions of dollars in that case. So PwC has gotten some really bad news as relate to companies that have gone bankrupt. Colonial Bank in the U.S. and then now Satyam in India. And this was a case from 8 years ago. So it could be these companies that went out of business almost 10 years ago that are coming back to haunt PwC and the other big four right now. To keep up to date on all this PwC news, make sure to subscribe to this podcast and also subscribe to our email newsletter on our website in the sidebar of our blog.
We appreciate your help in growing this podcast so we can continue to bring you the best Big Four content possible. You could help us out by providing a review on iTunes, sending us an email with your comments, and don't forget to share with your friends. There's a link below in the show notes. That's our show for today. Thanks for listening and have a great day.